Here on the far left-hand side, you can see a list of some of the many out-of-the-box dashboards Cardiolog customers get on day one. These dashboards are built on topics of interest to our customers, such as user adoption, search analytics here towards the bottom, navigation. And so we'll look through a handful of these dashboards to show you some of the data that you can get with Cardiolog. This first dashboard showing us high-level adoption across 365. So are there some platforms that users are adopting well to? And maybe we should focus on other platforms like maybe Yammer, where we can see that we have less adoption potentially. Our next dashboard will be a SharePoint-centric dashboard. And here, what you're going to see on the far left-hand side is the SharePoint hierarchy. We can, of course, track hybrid deployments of SharePoint on-prem and SharePoint online, as you can see here in my demo. And then we can map out all of your sites. You have my HR site, IT, and we can, of course, drill down to lists, libraries, down to the list item level. So it's very, very easy to see exactly or to report on anything you want within SharePoint. All the way down to the list item level, like specific pages, documents, announcements, really any content that you'd like to report on. Looking at some of the data here under content, I have this chart and table. Let's open this table quickly to show you a little more data. Here by default, we're looking at the most popular content within SharePoint. But you might want to flip that around and show the least popular content. So we can see content that's even not being viewed at all. Imagine you have many documents, pages, maybe entire sites that people are not accessing. Is it because they're old and no longer needed and we can archive them? Or perhaps it's new content that our users are simply unaware of. Besides views, you can see the content was last viewed, last accessed, the duration that the content is viewed for. And of course, you can customize all of this. So if you don't care about the number of likes or the average page load time, you can remove those columns and add other columns of data instead. Under adoption here, we're showing the number of active and inactive users. And below that, a breakdown by department. Department here is an example. This can be any attribute that you'd like to use, like region, country, branch, job title, and any other attributes that you'd like to use here as well. And then I can also use everything here as filters and slicers. So if I click here on the sales department, that will filter the entire dashboard for just the sales team. So I can see exactly what content they are interacting with, or vice versa. If I'm curious about this signed contract, I can click there to filter the entire dashboard for just that content. And then see here that typically that is viewed mostly by the customer service department and folks in the sales team. So very easy here to slice and dice all the data by any attributes that you'd like to leverage. The next dashboard here will focus around search analytics. Here at the bottom left-hand side, you can see the top search terms like benefits, business data. If that's the case, of course, maybe adding a link from our homepage to employee benefits can save a lot of time currently spent searching for that content. So again, the idea is that as you learn more about the user's behavior, you are empowered to make the tweaks and changes, the improvements to make SharePoint that much better for your users. At the top here, a few quick metrics. And a little concerning here in my demo environment, only 49% of searches are clicking on one of the results. So over half of our users arrive at what we call a failed search. and we try to translate the raw data. Here we're translating it into time. You can see we're losing about 94 hours of lost productivity on failed search alone. So this is a great indication saying, hey, there's a challenge here. We might want to find out how we can improve search or improve navigation to get folks the content that they need quicker. Going beyond just usage, the area of usability, here at the bottom right, we'll show page load time by geography. So is your SharePoint portal loading slower in specific parts of the world? Here we're showing by country. You can drill down to state or territory, city, and branch. Technology being used, of course, how do folks access SharePoint, which device, browser, and operating system. And then navigation. All you have to do is copy and paste the URL you're curious about, maybe an important announcement or a blog post, maybe your homepage, and then to find out with previous pages how folks get to that content or where they're going to as the next step in their journey. Or for more in-depth kind of journey or funnel, we can build those here very easily. Here we're going to choose, I'll just take the most popular route that people are navigating through in SharePoint. So here in this use case, if most folks end up here at the training videos page, maybe adding a link to this content wherever here at the portal homepage can save them the extra step they currently need to make to get to that content. So again, as we learn more about user behavior, we are empowered to make the tweaks and changes to make SharePoint a better experience for our users.